So let's get straight to the punch. Mega evolutions have always been a very exciting thing ever since 6th gen. They pop your old favorite mons and give some of your newer ones a chance to enhance as well. Personally though, my favorite part about these evolutions is the brand new and more awesome designs that usually come with the megas like Charizard X, Sceptile, Lucario, and Ampharos. Anyways, I wanted to go over the 7 megas I wanted the most to make either a Pokemon more viable, just have that Pokemon get a better design, or maybe I just have a really cool idea with them. However I pick it though, here are my top 7 megas that I want to see in 7th generation. Okay, so let's all be real here. Lunatone and Solok will probably get a mega because they're literally a sun and a moon, and this game is called Pokemon Sun and Moon. So yeah, I mean, they could ignore these guys if they wanted to, but as far as chances for megas, these guys probably have the higher shot. My problem is I've never personally liked these Pokemon, but maybe with the new design like these ones on screen and a buff to their power, I could change my mind. Maybe. Now we start with the personal wants, beginning with Breloom. Now I remember this thing in 4th gen as a very fast powerhouse because of Technician, and a guy with a sleeping stats effect, which just really made Breloom a very strong choice. I loved his unique fighting grass type, as he was the only one at the time, and overall he was just quite amazing. Then 5th and 6th gen came around and he fell off the play really fast. I mean, he couldn't just keep up with those like Amoonguss with status, and his damage wasn't nearly as useful as Caesar anymore, even with Technician. So how can we fix this? Well, personally I'd love to see Breloom to be buffed in his mega, of course with some nice damage and some nice speed, which can make him a little bit more of a sweeper, and also with the ability, maybe even Tough Claws, making all of his contact moves hit for a lot more, which would be pretty cool in this guy. Now, of course, this would change how he's being played a lot, but at the same time, it would be a really nice change of pace for Breloom, and would probably allow him to begin being played a lot more like he used to be. Luxray has always been a disappointment stat-wise, but amazing looking in the looks department. It's always been a bit of a disappointment, but having such a huge design go to waste just kind of hurts me. So what I wish for Game Freak was that they would hook up Luxray with some new buff stats. Now I don't know exactly what they do, but I really like this fan art of a kind of tanky looking Luxray, so maybe something like that. I also love how it looks like a dark type, so maybe they could add dark type to this guy and make so he'd have a stab crunch, which by itself would improve this guy by a lot. So those are just a few of my ideas. Now, for the last year or two, for some reason, I legitimately thought Staraptor was a flying fighting type instead of a flying normal type. I even wrote it in one of my scripts of my favorite Pokemon, and I actually had to edit that mistake out. Now, the reason for this mistake was that I just remember using Close Combat all the time on this thing. It felt like the main reason to use a Staraptor, and it was really just all worthy to see a giant bird wreck in house with a fighting move. So what do I mention this all for? Well, I want a Mega Staraptor that is a flying fighting type. As I said, it would have a very strong close combat, and it would be stab, of course, and with a Mega, you could have the thing double apply Intimidate, which is very good. It just makes sense for me for this thing to happen since it's very similar to Pidgeot, so I could definitely see this thing getting a Mega. As for the newer fighter flying type, we have Hawlucha. Now this guy always felt okay in the game he was from, but he felt like he was kind of lacking something. And now I can't really exactly point it out, but the power just wasn't all there in this guy. In all honesty, I think that just buffing this guy's stats itself would be a big bonus to the thing, and probably make it just a lot more playable. And as well, I need this fan art to come to life. Ever since Pokken Tournament came out, I've been craving for a Mega Machamp. Seeing the majestic burst of Machamp was just crazy, and I feel like the same power could easily translate into Pokemon Sun and Moon as a Mega. All they really got to do is make it look just as powerful as that burst mode, or just make it look kind of like this Mega as you see on the screen. Just add some attack and defense to him, and we'll all be good from there. As well, it'll just be kind of hilarious if they gave him something like huge power, but of course that would be completely broken, so he'll probably just stay with what he has right now as far as his ability, or maybe get something like Mold Breaker. Maybe they could even make its own ability powering up when it uses a fighting move or something, but however it ends, I would really love to see a Mega Machamp. Finally, I really want a Mega Haxorus. Now this thing is probably my favorite Pokemon, and it kind of just needs a Mega to be more playable, to be honest. It has one of the highest attack stats in the game, and it's pretty good overall, but it just needs speed to be usable. What I want is just something like speed boost from his Mega, and that would kind of just make his weakness go away and turn him into one of the ultimate sweepers of the game. Super high speed and attack on turn 2 with something like Swords Dance would just make him even better, and yeah, he'd be a very strong person. Now maybe this would be OP, or maybe it would just turn out making the character better, but however it would go down, I would legitimately pay to see this Mega coming out from this type of fan art. And that's the end. Hope you like my thoughts, and these are just what I'm thinking, so please don't get angry if none of these come true. Just what I'm thinking and what I want. And of course, if these don't come true, the only bad thing will happen is that I'll be sad, and that's it. Anyways, thank you all for your time, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.